Well, as crime continues across Memphis, officials and residents are concerned about the response time for Memphis Police.
And this is after thousands of cars have already been reported stolen or broken into this year. Officers shared how long it takes to get crimes at City Council today.
Now, in the last update, MPD said it takes about 23 minutes on average. In some areas, response times are more than 30. Jay Shakur sat in on that update. So, Jay, why does it take MPD so long to get to certain calls?
Rudy, MPD says that it takes about 8 minutes to get to calls. Now, this, they say, is only to calls that they qualify as level 0 calls. Those calls, they say, are active threats or active crimes. One woman I spoke to says that it takes much, much longer than that.
2016 came along, everything started changing as far as MPD coming out. They don't come out.
Memphis 911 emergency, do you need police, fire, or ambulance?
Arlenia Rogers has lived in Frazier for more than a decade. She says calling the police in a time of need is no longer dependable.
If you call the police back in 2006 through up to 2016, they was here. And then we used to have officers that used to ride the neighborhood. They used to ride the neighborhood every 30 minutes to an hour.
But Rogers says those patrols don't happen anymore. She estimates wait times can now be as long as 40 minutes. Memphis Police Tuesday telling council a different story. They say officers respond to level 0 calls or calls about an active threat or a danger on average within 8 minutes. Department leaders saying that's becoming harder to do.
The solution to call response time is more officers on the street. It's more officers available that respond to calls.
All of July of 2022, there were more than 20,000 calls. This year, in just the first 10 days of July, calls for help have outpaced last year's total, with MPD responding to nearly 23,000 calls so far this month. For Arlenia, a consistent physical police presence in underserved communities should be the department's focus.
You can hire over 100,000 cops, and if you don't have none riding around to see what's going on in the community, what are you hiring them for? Not just over in Germantown, not just in Cordova, not in Colleyville, but just come out to the Frazier, South Memphis areas.
Overall, police say they've seen a 16% increase in calls so far this year. That's from January to July, where we currently are. We reached out to MPD to get their response times, particularly on other calls that aren't considered active threats. We're still waiting to hear back. In downtown Memphis, I'm Jay Shakur.